As you wake up once more alone in a wagon, the disappointment of the failure of your last team, you find something's changed. All around the wagon, in boxes and bins, candles. Simple wax candles. But there's something about them, something special. Perhaps you'll know more soon. But something has clearly changed. And there's only one way to learn more. Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Loki Oren, and we are in Darkest Dungeon 2 in the Altar of Hope patch. And first of all, just be up front, this is actually my second attempt. The first one I just did kind of a blind fire attempt, and unfortunately ended up not going very well. And the final outcome didn't really meet my standards for recording. It didn't feel very good. So we're gonna go through it again, and I'm gonna give some of my first impressions here. Meanwhile, we're also gonna be trying to do a project run here with Backstabbers. So first of all, as we dive in, there's some things that we can see almost immediately. So the character models appear to have upgraded a little bit, and they do look snazzy. Along with that, we have some kind of refinements to the interface here, and let's meet our companions. So when you log into the experimental branch, this is on the experimental branch, your progress will have been totally reset, but you will be given 20 candles, and we will go into that more in a moment. But for now, as we set up Backstabbers, Dismas has Slayer of Fisherfolk, but he's also afraid of water, which is kind of an interesting combination. And based on past experience, I think what we do, we basically leave this as is. Yeah, this ends up being pretty good. We do see the Wanderer to seek is to find. We get +1 candle if we just reach the second inn. And that's true for all of them. So Paracelsus in the second rank here. Bring Incision early, kind of set her up in her default. She is generous, but has a bum leg, which, not a big deal. Then Audrey, who's got Dancer's Balance and Occultomania. And we're actually going to get to set her up kind of interestingly, because she's starting so far up, we can pirouette, lunge, have kind of a different approach here. And finally, Barristan, our stout rock here. He's stout but tuckered out, which is fine. Because we're just going to set him up as we normally do and dive into it. So yeah, this is the Backstabbers Formation, which is just a variant of Unusual Suspects, and one that is, not very, it's kind of hard to talk about too much, because the only real change is Audrey being where she is, so she has that early pirouette. By the way, you can see in the top left corner here, these 7 candles. And now let's check out the Altar of Hope. A new location. A new shrine. What is this place? And why does it kindle such calming memory? Perhaps this is what you've been fighting for. A memory of the world that was. Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Loki Oren, and we are in Darkest Dungeon 2, and this is going to be kind of an interesting video here, because this is also going to be featured in the Backstabbers video, which will be going out in kind of sequence with this. But I just wanted to talk about the Altar of Hope in kind of a macro sense. So let's go ahead and get dived in. So this is the Altar of Hope, and you can see right now there's not a whole lot to it. It's pretty cut down. I only have 7 candles, remember, because this is actually my second run in this. The first one ended up kind of scuffed and not very fun to watch, so I just, hit the reset button, came back with 7 candles, and we'll check it out. So first up is the Intrepid Coast, which has only 3 upgrades right now. Journey, which upgrades your wagon with things like more inventory slots, more equipment mounting, increased loot, and so on. All the way up to the top, which is even more inventory. Resourcefulness, which gives us early which gives us some early benefits here. We can get an extra chunk of wealth at the first Valley Hoarder, which we'll see more in a minute. We can also get additional relics. Sanctuary is quite good. Makes the hospital not a dead node here. Is there one for free spring water? Wow, that's good. Arriving at a watchtower, +1 speed. Wow, so there's some quite good upgrades here. And then Renown, which is just kind of prestige. It's just swag. Get the different upgrades here. And then Companionship and Infernal Flame, which is coming later. Next up is the Working Fields, which are trinkets, combat items, stagecoach items, and so on. We'll come back to this one because we might spend a candle here. But interesting note, when you put a candle into this, you actually get the item. So you don't. It's not just chance to find it in future, but you actually get one of those items at the start. Next up is the Living City, which is upgrading your heroes and unlocking new ones. You can see here I've already unlocked the Bounty Hunter, as well as put a point in to upgrade each of the characters. And this goes down the line to upgrade, different stats, improve their stats here. Unlocks their hero paths, which are essentially, I think, they appear to be selectable, though it's hard to really say. Finally, we have the Timeless Wood, which I accidentally put a couple candles into. I didn't mean to. But upon successfully completing a run, you get a memory. And with each memory, your characters get more powerful. So right now, there's no sense in investing in this. And finally, the Recollection, which is just everything we have. And you'll see right now, we've got a bunch of basic items, a few upgrades that I purchased, and slime mold. We only have one type of food right now. So let's go ahead and get back. Let's get back to the Intrepid Coast, because I've kind of figured out what I want to do here. 3 to upgrade to that, 5 to upgrade to that, so we could just get a bunch more relics. But I think what we do, put 3 candles into this, which gives us an extra stagecoach equipment slot. Can one of our heroes get... Unfortunately, we can't use the Rogue Highway Path this round. Ooh, I do like the Surgeon Path, though. But I think what we'll do is we will just put it into in-items. So we unlock an in-item. We get boxing gloves. So we will have a set of boxing gloves in our wagon. Upgrade again. We have Meditative Totem now, too. One more time. And there it is, Steak and Spuds. So now Steak and Spuds can drop, which is quite good. And you know what? We'll upgrade, we'll do a trinket as well. We got Sacred Scribblings. It's quite good. So let's go ahead and embark. And now we'll be cutting back over... thank you all for watching this Altar of Hope kind of initial review. There's a lot more to unpack here, and I will be thinking about that and talking about it in future runs. But I did just want to take a quick beat to talk about what's here. My recommendation personally would probably be don't do what I did, where I'm kind of spreading it out. I'm just kind of unlocking things as they interest me. I think the strategy would be your initial upgrade should just be dumping into Journey early on and Resourcefulness and just getting these initial upgrades. Getting your economy going. I'm doing it a slightly different way because I'm a masochist like that. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Until next time, see ya. Apologies for kind of the weird video as we embark here. I just wanted to have kind of a separate video talking about the Altar of Light. But this is the Backstabbers run. And as you can see, we now have 2 Steak and Spuds, Boxing Glove, Meditative Totem, and Sacred Scribblings, which is all quite nice. And we also have 48 relics as a starting point. And as we head into not this node's the Assistance Encounter. The node after this is where we'll meet the Valley Hoarder. Food, supplies, or trinket. I think I'd like a trinket. But yeah, as we're heading in here, kind of like that. Let's put that on Audrey. Put that on Paracelsus. But just briefly touching on this formation in a macro sense to make this a project run. We've got the big 3: stress, health, damage. And much like Unusual Suspects, this is a very similar formation. We have stress healing in the form of Barristan, providing bolster, which is quite good as we hit this Hoarder. And this is actually kind of a nice change of pace we actually get to select what we want our what we kind of want our journey to be. So we can buy a wagon item, or we can buy some inn items. And I think I kind of want a wagon item. I think we'll probably buy a storage trunk, and then we can buy some pipeweed just for, you know, funsies. Yeah. 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 Cool. And we carry on. But yeah, so stress healing, we have Barristan with Bolster. We have Audrey self-stress healing with Dead of Night. We have Dismas critting. So somewhat mediocre stress heal, but I think it's enough in most circumstances, particularly now that it feels like stress has been toned down a little bit. From a damage perspective, this formation, it really isn't fundamentally different from Unusual Suspects. You still have all the same damage output. The dots from Paracelsus, the crits from Audrey and Dismas, and Barristan spamming Retribution like the crazy man he is. And then finally, from a healing standpoint, I mean, Paracelsus is in a pretty good position to do her job. And this is why we kept Duelist Advance, so we could do that. But yeah, so this is Backstabbers. It's a variant of Unusual Suspects, so we'll kind of play it as such. And, you know, again, apologies, you know, comment section below if this was too disruptive, because I definitely want to be, you know, creating content and presenting it in a way that's interesting, but I really wanted to get into the new patch and just start playing. I am kind of sad that the run that never was won't be featured, because it was just kind of me discovering stuff, but it really was not very good. So we're just gonna let that run lie. It was also a Backstabbers run, and in summary, we had a pretty good run going right up until we got to the Librarian, and the new Librarian just beat the living tar out of me, and I definitely want to like come back at it and have an actual meaningful run. If there's interest, I'm happy to post those videos. Just recognize that it doesn't end well. But anyway, let's hit our inn. Let's do our stuff. You can see the wagon, we only have 2 slots unlocked, right? We started with only 1, so definitely more upgrades to be had there. We can check our travelogue. We have a new button, End Expedition, if we just want to run at the inn, kind of take what we've got instead of gambling. Do our usual upgrade Bolster, which is Mastery. Wainwright's good. And let's figure out where we're going. So, Blood Moon, Bleed Resist doesn't really matter, but it's either Candles of Hopes or the Griddle, which is visit 3 academic studies for a chance to produce flapjack items before each location. Or we can just get some Candles of Hope. I think we're just going to go for some Candles of Hope. We're going to go back to the Sprawl because I want a rematch with the Librarian. We'll put Soothing Poultice on, I guess, Barristan. We'll also boost Barristan and Paracelsus' HP. Who's got a negative quirk? Tuckered Out, probably. Bumleg. Bumleg, I'm not super worried about. Hydrophobe. Probably get rid of Tuckered Out. Nice. Who needs relationship stuff? Alright, Dismas and Paracelsus. Yeah, that did not go as planned. That's okay. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. You know the drill. Let the YouTube algorithm know I make content you like to watch. Until next time, see ya.